Let's jump right in. If you've been working in modern IT or security for, well, any length of time, you already know the massive systemic headache we're tackling today. We're talking about network visibility chaos. In this explainer, we're diving straight into the documentation for a platform called Samurai to unpack exactly how it claims to finally unify your entire network architecture. So let me ask you a very real, very frustrating question. Are you absolutely tired of juggling 6 different dashboards just to trace a single path across your network? I mean, every time a company adds a new firewall or a new switch or a new fabric controller, it usually just means bolting on yet another pane of glass to check, right? Teams are ending up with this completely fragmented visibility. No continuous monitoring, no reliable way to prove compliance. It's honestly just an exhausting juggling act. Okay, let's look at the roadmap for this explainer. We'll cover the dashboard juggling problem, one unified command surface, the 6 primitives of visibility, AI that learns your network, and 5 minutes to full visibility. We're going to see exactly how Samurai brings discipline to every packet. Let's move into our first section, the dashboard juggling problem, where too many devices result in far too little visibility. Now, this isn't just some niche issue. It is a sprawling industry-wide problem. Get this. 70% of enterprises today are running 3 or more network security vendors side by side. Seriously, think about that. You've got Cisco ACI over here, Palo Alto firewalls over there, VMware vCenter somewhere else entirely. And because these systems just don't naturally talk to each other, you're left with no shared view of your endpoints, no unified paths, and absolutely no clean record of changes. And this really highlights the glaring gap in the market right now. When you evaluate Samurai against incumbent solutions, tools like AlgoSec, Tufin, or ManageEngine, a stark contrast really emerges. The incumbents are essentially only doing about 40% of the job. Sure, they might give you firewall policy analysis, but look at the actual gaps. They completely lack multi-vendor topology in a single pane, they struggle with agentless config diffs, and they usually miss the mark on air-gapped, single-container deployments. When you're relying on a 6-dashboard stack, you are quietly but surely losing your audit trail. Which brings us to our second section, one unified command surface, creating a single control plane across the entire network. This is exactly where Samurai's architecture aims to be the definitive answer. For IT directors and security engineers who are just exhausted by all the fragmentation, it's built to unify your firewalls, your fabric controllers, identity services, hypervisors, routers, the whole shebang, switches, everything, all into one single, elegant command surface. The source material lays out a highly ambitious mission here. It says, discover every endpoint, trace every path, detect every change across every vendor. And the truly fascinating part is how they actually pull this off natively. There's no messy screen scraping involved, because let's be honest, absolutely nobody wants to deal with that, and you don't have to deploy any cumbersome agents across your infrastructure either. It's clean, direct, and incredibly powerful. So the crucial point is how it actually works under the hood, which brings us to Section 3, the 6 primitives of visibility. These are the essential capabilities of the platform. The first primitive we have to talk about is compatibility. Samurai boasts native integrations across 9 major vendor families. Whether you're running Cisco ACI, Palo Alto, FortiGate, VMware, or Juniper SRX, Samurai automatically identifies, profiles, and queries these platforms. It auto-detects your environment right out of the gate, entirely removing that manual configuration headache. Now, what's genuinely cool about the discovery primitive is how it correlates all this data. It's like putting together a giant puzzle. Instead of you hunting through a dozen different tabs, Samurai brings MAC addresses, IPs, ARP, DHCP, and fabric data across every switch and router together into one beautifully unified table. So a Cisco switch seamlessly maps to an Apple IP, or a VMware instance maps perfectly to a Nexus 9K leaf. You find every endpoint automatically, regardless of what vendor hardware it happens to be connected to. Next up is the monitoring primitive, specifically smart change detection. You know the old way of doing this, right? Painfully reading through massive, noisy audit logs. Well, Samurai actually compares the real device data and automatically filters out the volatile, useless noise. It takes a messy, raw configuration change and strips it down to the meaningful difference, like a specific access list changing from denied to permit. You're only storing and reviewing what actually matters. And to pull all this off, you absolutely need the performance primitive. Samurai operates with a sub-second P50 query latency of under 400 milliseconds. Because it utilizes a cache-first architecture with background syncing, the platform updates as fast as your network changes. It gives you instant answers, so you're not sitting around staring at a loading bar while an active incident is unfolding.
Let's move on to Section 4, AI that learns your network. This is analysis you can actually audit, rather than just putting your security on blind autopilot. Let's see how this builds on those visibility primitives we just covered. Samurai utilizes something called AI memories. This is an auto-curated network memory where the AI reads every configuration change and learns durable facts specific to your unique fabric. It's a self-auditing, human-in-the-loop kind of system. For example, if a virtual machine moves across fabric ports, the AI recognizes this as routine learned VM mobility. It purposefully suppresses that noise so no false alert is raised, which allows the real anomalies to surface.
But when a genuine anomaly or unauthorized state drift does occur, the platform routes these intelligent, real-time alerts exactly to where your security teams are already working. With seamless integrations into chat tools like Slack and Microsoft Teams, you can catch unauthorized changes the absolute second they happen, without needing to constantly live inside the Samurai dashboard. And because flexibility is an absolute must, you have the ultimate choice of which AI model you actually want powering this analysis. You can integrate with top-tier cloud models like Claude from Anthropic or OpenAI, or if you prefer, you can run localized models like Allama completely on-prem. The control is 100% in your hands.
Finally, let's transition to Section 5, 5 minutes to full visibility. Deployment without the friction.
Now you might be thinking, a tool this comprehensive takes weeks of expensive consulting to set up, right? Actually, no, it doesn't. With literally one single line of code, a standard Docker run command, you can deploy this platform. You can go from absolute zero to full network visibility in roughly 5 minutes. Your entire network just appears on the screen. It's a real game changer. And there is a massive security benefit here too, especially for those of you operating in highly regulated environments. Because it's a self-contained container running on a single VM, your data never leaves your perimeter. Ever. There's no cloud reliance, there are no extra agents to install on your devices, and there's absolutely no SaaS lock-in. It's completely air-gapped and totally under your control. Which leaves us with one final, vital question to ask ourselves. Based on everything we've uncovered in this explainer today about fragmented dashboards and lost audit trails, does your network have discipline in every packet? I hope this explainer has given you the framework to really evaluate your own visibility and take back control of your infrastructure. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one.